Yeah. Okay, my dad wants me to take a personal loan out for him. I grew up in a low income household. Dad self-employed doing farming. Mom is a housewife. Recently, my dad started a new farming business. Said he needed a small truck so the business can work. So he's asking me to help him out, getting a loan for him so he'll pay the monthly installment. See, I'm just starting out with life. I don't even own a car, so I don't know about the best type of loan in this case. My dad said higher purchase will have high interest, and he suggested a personal loan with Bank Rakyat at 4% interest. I'm not sure if that's correct. Talking about financial habit, I don't think my dad has a bad spending habit. From all I see growing up, he's just bad with luck. Last time when he was able to withdraw his retirement, he spent to plant some crops that didn't work out. I also remember when I was younger, my dad used to avoid answering his phone because the bank is always calling him. I don't know how I feel about this. I want to help him get the money to buy the truck, but I have doubt about making a loan under my name. I've saved 10K in emergency fund. As for myself, my financial situation is not so bad, although not so ideal either. I just started working in the private sector, gross salary 3.5K, to which I spend 1K on rental, 1K on food, 1K on savings. I have so many questions, but I don't know which are the right ones to ask. Not that I'm asking you to help me answer all these, just would like your opinion on this. Look, I think when it comes to family,
I got family.
money is never a logical thing. So, asking to reply to this logically, I think it's quite hard. If I was in your situation and myself being a parent, I would do that for my dad. I think when it comes to personal feelings, when it comes to loans, only lend a friend or a family member, you just assume that you're never going to get it back. If you get it back, that's a bonus. Now, because this is not a logical decision, this is very much more of an emotional decision. I'm not here to judge whether you need to be filial to your parents or not. I think that is a very personal wish or is a very personal value set, not for me to judge. But I just want to highlight that if you do plan to take a personal loan, we always get enticed with 3%, 4% or 5%. We have to understand a personal loan is calculated very much like Islamic style loan or a higher purchase loan. How they calculate interest, right, when it comes to a personal loan, if they say 4%, don't forget it's 4% on the principal. So assuming if your principal is 10,000 and you take that loan out for 5 years, okay? So they'll take 4%, which is $400, multiplied by 5 years. So you're working at $2,000. Your total amount that you have to pay back is actually $12,000. Now, how it's actually calculated is not through what we call conventional ways, which means that in the beginning, when maybe 2 years of payments, you are actually only paying down the interest. On the third year, say you assume that you want to pay off the whole loan, you have to pay off 10,000. So this is not a reducing interest type of situation when it talks about personal loan. So what happens is that actually the interest is front loaded and 4% is not really an effective rate. So typically, rule of thumb, if you want to calculate what's the effective rate of any personal type loan, if you want to compare apples to apples, multiply by 1.5 times, right? So if you're doing 4%, you're probably paying about 7% interest. Now, we have to understand that personal loans are what we call unsecured loans, which means that the bank don't hold a collateral in case you cannot pay up. So therefore, interest rate is expected to be higher. Now, if you said that you were willing to give your dad a 10K and then borrow the 8. Now, because this is purely an emotional decision, I think the only positive spin I can see out of it, if you are taking a loan out from it, is that you get to build your credit score. Right? So whether it's a 3-year or 4-year loan, you pay a little bit of interest. Of course, try to find the lowest that you can find. And don't forget, there are a lot of T and C's in there. If they say 4%, you have to understand what 4%, it may come with a lot of terms and conditions. You have to pay on time. If you slip off one payment, then it goes to an effective rate of 10%, for example. You have to be very, very clear and read all those fine print, because 4% maybe only works if you are consistently paying it on time for the next 5 years. So, say 60 payments, right? So if imagine 59 payments you're on time, on the last one you're not on time, they have the reason to issue you a penalty. So that effective interest rate works out higher. I personally, I forget payments as well. It's normal. We get busy with life, right? Even though I set it and forget it, for some reason sometimes, there's a rejection and you leave it alone, and until it's too late, you realize then you have late bank fees. So unless you're that disciplined, it's almost like, when you buy goods, they say, keep your receipt in case there's anything, warranty for 5 years. I can guarantee you it's 5 years on the 4th year and 8th month. something goes wrong, try and find a receipt, right? You likely would have lost it. So you have to take that into account if you decide to. So that's my rational reason. If that 8K that you're going to borrow, read the terms and conditions and shop around. Doesn't mean the lowest interest rate that they advertise is always the lowest interest rate. Okay? And always check if it's a loan reducing balance. What if you pay early? What happens? All right. I hope that helps, and I hope, I wish you the best of luck to your dad. I think like all fathers, they try their best to give their best to their family. So good on you if you're going to support him.